down here? Well, I'm in a weird spot because I wanted the cameras aimed down here at the bottom of the rack. So I'm going to put the ASRock back in the rack and go ahead. I think it's working well enough to, hopefully that it's not a hardware problem. I think the power supply is okay. And I don't have another one anyway, so if it doesn't work, then I just can't use it. I'm not going to go buy a power supply for it. So I'll put it back in there. The last time I worked on it, I found a testing app, hardware testing app, new one to me, and ran it. It was a long series of tests, and I ran it for 20-30 minutes, and it didn't, give any trouble, and it seemed to run okay. Kind of with that lapel mic, you can't get away from making noise when you cough. Well, I guess I couldn't mute it, but it'd be hard to do right now. Okay, so I'm going to put it in there and trust that it will, work okay, and go back to work on setting up the new Fedora 26 operating system with the apps and everything needed for my mom and her email, set up in Thunderbird and all that stuff. So I'm just going to get it in there and then see where to go from there. So let's get over here. Let's see. I'll just stay on the wireless mic because I'm going to go over there. And it's out of the picture. I've got it sitting down there. You can almost see it. Let's see what happens if I switch to both cameras. I kind of couldn't decide which. Of course, with my head in the way, I can't tell. It's not much of a view of down there from that camera. I think I'll just stick with this. When I can find it, I'll stick with that straight on view. I was just thinking I might get in the way of the camera, and then 2 cameras might be good, but kind of a little far away. But I have this other one behind me to where I can turn it back around at the monitor when I boot it up. And that's my plan anyway. So let's put this somewhere. I kind of didn't want to do that because it's getting kind of wore out, and it wants to go out too far and act like it wants to end up breaking. But I think it'll be all right as long as I pay attention to what I'm doing. There's an audio cable. The last time that one I use all the time. That's the one I usually use I use it whatever I want, but I especially used to use it every night to hook up to my laptop up here when I'd watch TV over there on the bed. But I got to where I don't do that much anymore. I just watch what I want to watch on the computer, and then don't even turn the laptop on that much anymore. But let's see. Where's my KVM switch? Cables. There's my KVM cables. Yeah, that's the only drawback is, see, they're going to be back up in there, and I can reach them down and plug them. I can't plug them in. I can't see to plug them in way over here. They're supposed to from back over there on the left side. I can't get to it at all from this side, really. I mean, if I want to stick my head in all that dust underneath there, I could, but I'm not doing that. And it's bad going that way, too. If you just have to reach to this one or even this one, I could do that without generally getting completely dusted out. See where to put that while I'm working. That might work. Okay, so anyway, hopefully it'll run good and not give me trouble. There's the keyboard I have plugged into that blue, I call it the blue FIC, to be able to, let's see where I'm trying to get these cables out of my way. I know they're going to fight me when I go to put this thing in there. I think I'll put that in the floor for now. I already have, it was in there for a long time, so all the cables I need are there. I just gotta get them hooked up. The rack's really cool. I like it. It's not actually, well, it is a computer rack, but it was for a telecommunications telephone company's central office. Back in 2000, I worked installing gear, and this other company that we got to talking to this guy. they were taking this one out. They were putting in a new one. They were going to take this one out and just going to throw it away. And they said, "Y'all want it?" And we said, "Yeah." And at the time, I didn't really think about using it for computers. I mean, they did put computers in them. Usually, it was rack-mounted gear, though, telco gear. But they would put computers in them too, because this is part of what they had. They had servers that did all kinds of telecommunications work, you know. But anyway, we asked him. I don't know why I couldn't tell by looking at it. It's like 21, 22 inches screw to screw there. But me and my friend, we were working together. We both were into audio gear. And we was like, yeah, we could put audio gear in that, you know, which I do have. Can't see it right now, but I have actually in another place, I got some rack ear extenders, and they ended up making me be able to fit my audio gear in there. But anyway, audio gear is 19 inches. They call it a 19-inch rack. I don't know if that's screw to screw or the space in between or what, but so when I got it home, and it was too tall, it was 7 feet. I think it's 7 feet tall, and they would bolt to the floor and the ceiling in those telcos. Well, actually, not always the ceiling. Sometimes there was rails up there they'd bolt to, but they had to be earthquake-proof, and that was the law. It's the law in Texas, and I bet they're even stricter over there in California and places like that. But anyway, they had to withstand so much of an earthquake. Oh man, I put me a cover. You can see that. If it just fell out, I didn't get the little door shut right. Is what it is. It's just, it doesn't have screws. It's got a little hinge on it. So, the other thing I started to mention and forgot is the audio. Last time I plugged the audio cable in, got no audio, and I had forgotten that. I guess I can show that. I've showed it before, but I have a patch bay up there, RCA patch bay up there at the top of my rack, and I can only plug in about 3 or 4 computers. It's not a real, it's not a mixer. It's just a patch bay, and so you start losing signal strength the more you plug in, and so. I have all my computers plugged in up there, all my leads going up there, but I had to end up, there's a section of the rack where, here, this is just silly. If I'm going to talk about something, I ought to show it. There's a section of the rack up there where you don't have to be that high, do I? There is a lag, isn't there? Okay, there's a section of the rack up there where, to the right, the last 1, 2, 3, or 4, how many? I don't remember how many, but they are separate from all the rest. All the rest is connected together. And so, but you can take a jumper, those gray wires, they're jumper wires, and when you plug them, they go over to that other section. And so if you plug, like right now I have 2 of them plugged in. So there's those 2 on the far end, the regular colored RCAs. You have to take the matching gray wires and plug them into that. You could plug them in anywhere on there, but I just use the end. Looks to me like where the labels are, probably there's the last 2 that I could plug into are empty. And anyway. Those dangling ones, if I plug them in, it would activate 2 more sets of audio cables. But I can't do it. That's why I did it that way. I never used that section before until I got to where I wanted more computers on there. So I realized, okay, if I use the patch bay as a patch bay, then I can make it work, but I have to always get up there and patch it in. So if you've ever you've seen in your audio programs and all that stuff, you've seen a patch bay. Well, that's a real patch bay. That's where the term patch bay came from. They originally used them in telephone. Probably the original use, I would think, would be in the telephone, in the telcos, in the where the operators worked. They used a patch bay. They used patch bays, and of course, I'm talking about the original invention of the telephone, but they used patch bays to route telephone calls. Operators used patch bays to route telephone calls. There were those 1/4 inch cables, male cable connectors of the wires went into the female 1/4 inch, and they had those little extra points on the end, pointy round points that would actually help them click in and hang on good. And taking this off to fix that. And they used those all the way up into the 60s, 70s. I'm sure there was some being used all the way up. I mean, there could be some still being used. Who knows? But I know that they say that stuff like that was used. That kind of gear, telephone company gear, was used up into the. There's something bent. No wonder. Up into the. I'll just leave it right there because at least it's in the shot. My knees would get out of the way. Yeah, this right here, it's a hinge thing that when you shut it, it clamps down. And I just realized that it somehow got out of whack. And part of the hinge, I don't know if that's going to go out of the picture, but I got to do that so I can see what I'm doing. I got to bend it back to where it needs to be bent, and it goes in a little hole. I can see that. There. Now if I can there we go. Ah, okay, now let me get my regular pliers. I think I can fix it now. It must have been, somehow it got off of its track and then got shut and bent the little ear that turns it into a good hinge. It was only one of them. So, it was on there. Now, let's see if it's going to work right. Yeah, now it's working right. I know it seemed extra loose and floppy, acted weird, and I didn't think much about it, didn't investigate it. Yeah, that's not good to have your, where did it go? I went way, way up there. This is the, see, I found some PCI slot covers, because 2 of them were just open. And, you know, the main thing I don't like about them, really, honestly, is that they, oh, now it shuts and latches. Yeah, it didn't latch, and I couldn't figure out why. Okay. So yeah, now they'll stay in there. And if I can get the door on there, I got it sitting on that little red stool. Wow, okay. Good. So, those, you know how they're always sharp? They're knockouts, and once you've knocked them out, they're sharp, and they'll cut you if you stick your fingers back there to grab it, you know, to plug something in or to pick the box up. You end up cutting yourself. And that something I hadn't thought about for a long time. I used to leave them open sometimes, thinking, well, it gets better airflow. But you really want the airflow to go through the way it's designed, like if it's designed at all right for airflow. But see, there's vents here. You want the cool air coming in here and coming back out through the fans, or some fans blow in, but these blow out. And number one reason, really, to use those, make sure you don't have holes, is so that bugs and rats cannot crawl. Luckily, we haven't had a mouse in a long time, but they like to get in there. I had a friend, my friend that gives me computers a lot. He gave me one that had been in a house fire. And he said, this is a good computer. It's kind of scorched, but it's a good computer. And I plugged it in and it still works. And so I looked at it, and it was pretty old. And I opened it. He was there, and I opened it up to blow it out. There was this giant freaking dead rat in there. And they had it had left a big, I guess, a whole bunch of these out. I can't remember what it was. It was something open, big, pretty big. But you wouldn't think that rat could fit through it, but it was bigger than just 2 of those. I don't remember what was open on it. It's an old, really big case. It was a Pentium 1, I think, computer or something like that, or maybe even older than that. But and then I got to looking after I got the rat out and kidded him about it a bunch. Went to cleaning it up, and I saw that several of the wires going to the power supply had been chewed into by that rat. And I had just got through asking him. He told me about the house fire, and I said, what caused it? He says, we don't know. We never did figure it out. and knew it was electrical. And I saw those chewed up wires, and I said, "There's your house fire right there." So, and you know, the power supply still worked, though, crazily enough. Now that maybe that computer didn't cause the fire, because that was DC, and even shorting that out directly would just blow out the power supply. I don't think it could cause enough surge through the AC line to cause a fire. But that rat, or if there were more, probably chewed through something in the AC wiring in the house that caused the fire. Bet you anything. So anyway, let's take a short story and make it long. We're going to put the ASRock in here, but I did want to explain about the audio. The other day I was like, why is my audio working? And I just switched to the other cable that I knew worked. Well, a little bit later, I looked up maybe a day or two later, I looked up at my patch bay that I used to be accustomed to using, and I was like, well, of course not. You didn't patch it in. So got to patch in the audio if you want it to work. But I unplug it sometimes. What it'll do, you can know it right away, because even when I plug this one here in, this other one that I was showing, I can't leave it plugged in all the time. That's why it's laying there loose, because it's one more than my amps can handle. You know, the signal gets weakened too much, and so it makes my you know, you'll always notice it because you've got to turn your volume up on your computer a whole lot higher than normal to hear what you're trying to listen to. And so, okay, now there's that. There's our Ethernet. There's our audio. Trying to keep them from being tangled up. And let's see. I'll put the Ethernet up in there a little bit. Yeah, I only ever saw a big rat field. It's like a field, what we call a field rat here in Texas. I ever saw one that big inside. Well, actually, back when I lived out in the country, I used to live out I lived in the woods, but there were fields nearby. Well, of course, they don't just live in the field. That's just what we call them. But that's weird. I just realized. No, I think it's a modem. It looks awfully big. Yeah, it's a modem. A modem with only one line. I've never seen a modem with only one line. And it just says line. You always have to have an in and an out. Well, you don't have to. So that's a modem that would only dial out. You couldn't plug the phone into it like normal modems. You can plug, you know, if you can see it down there, but normal modems, well, power plugged in. See if it'd show up. Normal modems have an in and an out. And you can plug the line out, or line in actually, and then the phone, so that you can still use the phone. I've got a bunch of modems, and I don't remember seeing one with just one. It says line, so it would probably be the only. Some of them, it don't even matter which way you plug them in. Some of them it does, and they'll still work. But I mean, I said that wrong. Some of them, it doesn't matter which way you plug them in, they'll still work. But some of them it does. You have to plug them the right way. But it gets confusing. Well, it's actually, the line is the line in and out. You can dial out or take a call in, and that's why you have to have if you still want to use your phone, you know, I mean, you don't have to plug the phone into the computer, but it makes it actually, back when it was a big deal, when everybody had dial up, you could do that. And of course, the cool thing was you didn't have to use a splitter or anything, or install another phone jack, an RJ11 jack. And you could use your phone even to some software. If you keep your computer running all the time, is what you'd have to do. And it could be your answering machine, a really sophisticated answering machine. And you could check your messages just by pushing buttons on the phone and stuff too. And of course, that's evolved into the robocalls that drive everyone crazy now. And you could do stuff like that back then. It wasn't cheap. It was, robocall software was around way back, just wasn't being used all the time by, telemarketers. And they didn't call them robocalls until somebody came up with some software that they called robocall. But There was we had a Hewlett-Packard computer. I'm sorry, a Packard Bell computer, 486, that had all the coolest answer machine software you ever saw on it, and you could make calls if you had the right software. I saw some. I was always into freeware back then, and this is Windows 3.1.1, and I would downloaded, lots of things and tried them out, but I went blank, but I kind of remember seeing some calling software, especially, but it was expensive. I don't remember if I ever saw any that you could even try out that was real powerful. But there was callback software. There was lots of fax software that you could, answer a fax with a fax and all kind of stuff like that. So everything is plugged in but my cable for my KVM switch. Okay, now I noticed that one of these, there's always something that's getting jacked up on these things. I'm doing that because it's about the only way you can. Some little, I don't know why they're even there. It's part of that plate, that cover. See, these are just, they give you, sometimes you'll get a couple of these little snap-in plates to match your motherboard. And they're just the right size for there's pretty much a standard size. Well, these, at a certain age of machines, of boxes, this rectangle was the same size, and then you just needed a plate that would match your motherboard. So they come with a motherboard when you buy them. But anyway, it's got two tabs that are just sticking out between the two USB connectors, and they're just got themselves sticking way out to where they can kind of get you. But I already noticed that one is really, you can hear it in the audio in here, really loose. I think there may be something wrong with it. I think it might have gotten broke. It's making noise in my audio, which it shouldn't do, really. I mean, this is my USB KVM switch. It's not connected to my audio amps. So I'm thinking that there's some sort of short in there. It's very, very loose. I mean, none of them are super tight, but that one is loose. Plastic, sometimes that plastic in there, the support will break, but that's not broken. But I don't know if that my cable, my extension cord that I have over there running to my other camera was not where it's in a place where I'm not used to it being. So when I went to pick up my magnifying glass, it caught it. Okay, so plug in this. I was trying to make sure, though, you got to be real careful with these VGA cables. Those pins will get bent. Those pins in that thing have been bent several times, and they will, of course, you'll break them. And there's actually one missing that's been broken out. And if they get shorted out, they could short out and make it not work, or make it not plug in all the way. There is one monitor that the cable to it, evidently, they were just bent all the way down. I mean, just till they were touching each other, like 2 or 3 of them. And that monitor died, and I don't know if it died right away because of that or if it died over time. But that monitor did die. It lasted many years, but we had bought it brand new. It was a Sony monitor. It was back with one of the first generation of flat screen CRT monitors. It was a really nice monitor. I think we paid $250 for it on sale. Yeah, fall out. I wanted you to do that. Okay. So you see why that I have been just putting it on the table and taking it down every day, because you don't want to do this very often. Oh boy. Okay, you gotta get these cables to where they don't get hung. and you don't want anything getting broke. And this VGA, this KVM, VGA, and USB cable is the only one I got for the rack. And so, you know, lots of times I'll have to, if I want to hook up any of these other computers, then I have to switch it. That's why I was reluctant to do this, but I got, what's holding things up? The legs on this one is, this one's a short box, and the rest of them are long, and the legs don't hang up on my board down there. Now that, there we go. Now let's put things. I think I'll turn it on before I put everything back, because if something goes wrong, I'd rather not have to drag it all back out again. Okay. I've got cables for everything down here. I don't remember. That one there is all wound up and tied, but it's hanging. Was it stressing something? I don't even know. Okay, so. Yeah, I know, it's a rat's nest. A bird's nest. I don't know, some sort of mess, that's for sure. Bird's nests are actually rather beautiful. They're kind of look better than this. Rat's nest. Well, rat's nests are kind of odd. They can be anything. I've seen them. They just put. I guess rat's nests isn't good because they don't seem to have a design to them. They're just a mess of crap put in their paper and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so let's see. Or a mice nest. Let's see. There it is, hooked up. So let's get our, let's leave it, no, let's put it over here. When I have things sitting, especially a mouse sitting right there, and when I shove this in all the way, sometimes it'll slide all the way off the back, and then I've got to crawl down in there to get it. Okay, so finally it's in there. Now let me get 1 and 2. Let you see the top of my head. I'm doing pretty good for an old guy. I mean, it's getting pretty thin up there, but hey, I'm old. All right. I need to try to zoom in. See that when I boot up, want to be able to see that. And I think while I'm thinking about it, I'll switch to the other mic. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure that muted. Yep. Okay, we're on the SM58 now. Have a little bit better sound. And let's see, I got to remember or find out. I think it's 115, isn't it? Yeah, I believe so. Okay. My neck is tired. I need my beautiful little pillow. It's not beautiful to look at, but it's beautiful to lay your head on. Okay. Now, well, I will go to the live dashboard right quick. That's not come in yet. Okay. I'll let you go to another page while that one's still loading. Make sure everything's still good with my stream. I was watching another live stream today of one of my favorite YouTubers, a guy named Morton in, I forgot the name of the country, overseas. He teaches you a lot about servers. He's a server admin guy, and I'm really interested in that. So, you know, like commercial servers, not just like turning your desktop into a server like I do, you know. But, okay, that's all good. Let's just see that the sound is working and everything. Yep. So where do I want to go now? Oh, yeah. There it is, 115. Okay, but that was not, got to put the port on there. Once you do something wrong, it stays in there. You can delete it, but you have to pay attention to do that. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be pointing it at the monitor, so let's change the exposure to about right there. Now we'll try zooming in. Looks like I'm going to have to bring it down quite a bit. Yeah, I can zoom in closer than that. So I'll bring it in until the sides are about right, and then I'll have to go adjust the camera. Actually, that's pretty good. I'll have to get up and do that. Oh, it doesn't want to stay in the middle. That's pretty much in the middle. Okay, now let's see. Okay, I gotta go re-aim the camera. So. All right, yep. Let's bring this back over here for now. Where does it want to go? Up or down? Up. Okay. Yeah, that'll kind of stop from showing the top of my head so much. That's not too bad. Actually, I don't need to go side to side at all. Okay. Oh! I do that a lot. I go to sit down and I fall down. Good thing I got a chair there. Man, earlier today I have a tray. I bring my tray. I have this tray with little legs on it to eat on, and they're fold-up legs. And anyway, that's one problem. But let's move that stool. It's so red. Well, it doesn't matter, does it? Not really. Yeah, let's move it. Just take it out of the shot. That way you can see what's there. The black computer. Okay. Yeah, let's leave it like that for me to boot it up and everything. And do I need to... Well, I need to get out of there before it uses up all the memory on this machine. What was I saying? Oh, he's doing a live stream, and it wasn't live when I was watching it. I didn't notice, I just caught it this evening. And, yeah, that's going to be okay. I was looking at my... Yeah, I guess you could kind of see that, but not really. Yeah. Okay, but I'm fixing to switch over to the other machine that I won't be able to do desktop on. Anyway, he was doing something that I can't do, and I bet he might not have noticed it. I noticed he was using OBS. I didn't know that's what he used until today, but he was trying to change scenes, and edit them while he was live, and he was having trouble with his dropping frames on his stream, and I don't know if he has trouble with his internet, but he probably doesn't. He's never mentioned it much before in his other videos, so I think maybe. And I know that I use a Lenovo i5 quad core with 4 gig of RAM, and he uses something fairly similar. I think it's a newer version for his desktop to do his streaming and stuff, and is making his videos and things like that. And so anyway, things I've experienced and learned with OBS, I might actually be able to, if I could ever remember, I might actually comment that in an appropriate video, that one, I guess. But he was saying he would try to open up Chrome web browser to look at his stream, and it would just eat up all his system resources. I don't even try Chrome. Firefox, I open up Firefox and then shut it down. And he was, anyway. So that's a common thing, evidently. That's what I'm getting at. So, okay, am I ready? Yes, I believe so. Okay. Well, I ended up back on my main machine. Let's look at it again. Okay. Camera, and like it would make more sense to my brain right now if I had the screen on the right and the thing on the right. It depends on where I put my cameras, but swap them. But if I do that during my stream, OBS would very likely just start climbing in memory uses. It's already pretty heavy on the resources, on the CPU as it is. So you just gotta learn the idiosyncrasies of this software and all this different software and your hardware, your particular hardware, and then we'll go work within what you can. So, But sometimes it takes a while to notice that stuff, you know. So let's turn this on. And I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to get back on my SM58 because I'm going to be right here at the machine. But I'm not seeing video. There we go. I was starting to get worried. Okay. So we'll just wait. Okay, Fedora, that's good. I was like, where's Windows 7? Oh, I took that drive out. And I don't know if it automatically grub updated or if it was happened when I was adding that mem test. I added mem test to it in my last video. If you want to see that, I ran mem test on it. Or the one before the last one, maybe. No, it was the last one. I would say what part it is, but I don't remember. So I'm going to wait till it gets booted up before, because I want it to see my monitor. And then I can switch mics. And well, actually, I'll just wait until when I go back over there and start doing remote desktop, then I'll switch mics too. Hopefully I'll remember. Sometimes I forget. I remember I saw one of my videos. I was looking back through it, and I noticed that I stayed on my lapel for a long time when I didn't have to because I forgot. I mean, it's not, you know, the biggest deal. It's just that I really like good sound, being that I was a sound guy for a long time. And it's important. It's just important to me. I like the best sound I can get, you know. I mean, you can always... you can almost always do better, but let's see. So yeah, let's see. If I go ahead and go over here to the last desktop and open up TeamViewer, get it up and serving. And then I can do my video that way. I've already made one video tonight, and then I was tired, and I ate supper, and that made me sleepy, and then I sat there and watched videos. And watch my video, actually watch my whole last video like an hour. It was about an hour. Okay, let me go move back to my machine. Oh, okay. I got to remember the little password when I get back over here. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, we're back on the... And... yeah, there's no need to show anything but the desktop now. Okay. Yeah, I'm on my newest... It's old, but it's new because I haven't used it hardly at all, but... or not, and I don't use it all day, every day like I did the other one, but I swapped keyboards. I have another one that's different color, but the same model of the HP Hewlett-Packard keyboard. Okay. Let's see. It doesn't have the... Oh, okay. I had to. I made myself. I was able to remember the password number just long enough. No connection to TeamViewer server. Please check your internet connection. Most likely, you use proxy. I don't know what that is. I wonder if I'm having trouble with my network. I've never seen that before. It says abort connection. I might have. I don't know why. It's trying to connect when I didn't put a number in there yet. Maybe it wasn't responding well. Let me close the app and try opening it up again. Huh. Okay. Yeah, it's acting weird. Not ready, please connect. Check your connection. Well, I hope I'm not having internet trouble. Let's go look at my stream. Let me think. I did just plug in that machine. I may have to reboot the router that it's on then. That's most likely the problem. But let's go first make sure I've got everything going. I mean, it was good a while ago. Let's see. What router is it on? Okay, yeah, that's good. Everything seems to be good there. Okay, so no problem with that. Okay. But I can't get to that router from here. So I guess I'll close that. Okay. Go back to scenes 1 and 2. So whatever I do on my screen, let's see. Trying to think what's the easiest way to. I guess it's best to just jump up and manually do the connection. Go back to my wireless mic so at least I can talk while you can hear me talk about what I'm doing. Okay, so I can't, of course, if I had to reboot my main router, I have 3. So if I had to reboot the main one, then I'll reboot this. They're daisy chained, 3 in a row, 1 to each other. So I'm going to reboot the TrendNet, which is connected to the TP-Link. The TP-Link's the one I'm serving my video through. TP-Link is connected to some of these computers, and then have a net old net gear that's connected to the TP-Link. So I'm not sure actually. Oh wait, that ASRock is on my TP-Link. I'm pretty sure. So this is not going to help. I guess I'll go into my. Maybe I just need to reboot the ASRock. Maybe something didn't go right with the network connection. I'll go into my router settings and look. But I got to wait till this finishes booting before I go on. Now I got to reboot the Netgear, but I don't have to sit and watch it. Just make sure this one's done. Yeah, I think it's done. There's buttons on the TP-Link and the Netgear and the TP-Link and the TrendNet, but the Netgear you just unplug it and plug it back in. Okay. Now I get to see a wonderful view of my black shirt, back of my black shirt. Okay. Yeah, if I ever saw that before in TeamViewer, don't remember it. The cool thing about TeamViewer is it doesn't matter which router you're on. You don't have to do port forwarding or any of that stuff. You just, I'll make sure the audio, I just switched camera. You just, it just goes through them normally anyway. Go to the desktop again. Let's go back to my browser. Let me triple check that I'm getting, I'm on desktop, I'm getting audio. Okay. Now. Okay, let's see about our DHCP clients. Okay. ASRock. It's set to always get the same IP, but it looks like I don't think I'm serving anything up on it, so I don't think I can go to it. I don't know. I guess I need to go get on it. Switch the camera back, and but it shows up to be there. Okay. So I guess I'll close the browser for now. Let's go back to cameras 1 and 2. Let's go to camera 1. No, camera 2. And then when I switch can kind of see what's going on with the on the ASRock through the monitor screen. Okay. Let's see if it looks like it's got, yeah, 106. See if it's getting on the internet. See if it's really a connection problem or if it's a TeamViewer problem. Okay, we have internet. Oh, I saw a whole bunch of articles on this Fedora page. I wanted to send to my main computer so I could look at them later, and I forgot. Now they're all gone. I don't look at this all the time, but whenever I do see it, sometimes I see pretty interesting stuff. I saw a bunch of interesting things. This Fedora magazine. It's online and everything's good. So let's just try reopening. I closed TeamViewer. Now let's open it back up. Okay. You know what? Let's see. This time it's got a new password, which is what it's supposed to do. And the last time it still had the same password from the last run. So maybe that was some kind of glitch that didn't work right. Okay. The user ID stays the same, but the password changes. Now, let's go to the, if we can, there. Go to this machine, and I'll just go back to desktop now. Okay. Yeah. TeamViewer, thank you. Now let's see if it's gonna. It says not ready again. Please check your connection. Huh. I was wondering if maybe if I waited a little bit longer. Okay, this time I'll read the error message. Please check your internet connection. Most likely you use a proxy server and you have entered, and you have to enter the proper information in the connections dialog. Proxy settings. No proxy. I don't use a proxy. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. I know my internet's working. Where's the, oh, that was it. Connection information. That's the normal IP that I should have. Oh, it's got a weird IP4 address. What in the world? Have I just not been paying attention or what? There's no IPv6 listed. Oh, there it is down there. And this is my normal IPv4, but there's a VBRO bridge. I didn't set up a bridge that I remember. I wonder if that's messing it up. Because see, these two machines are they're both on my same TP-Link router. So I could get to the ASRock through the I could get to it through the other VNC programs. I don't have any of them installed on it though. So I don't know. I haven't really been paying any attention. I don't know if that's just something that Fedora's been doing and I didn't notice it. But I see the set driver. It says driver bridge. And I've set up a network bridge before, and it's really hard for me to understand and remember. But I did it. I don't remember why I did it exactly. I did it on my server. It worked for a while, and then it gave me trouble, and then I had to. Actually, I never got figured out how to uninstall it and turn it off. I ended up upgrading from Fedora 21 on my server to Fedora 23 and it got rid of it. But it says not ready. I believe I have had this happen before, and I think it went away after a reboot. But yeah, it's not doing the ID, giving me my ID or doing anything. Let's see if it's still running in the background even after I close it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. This is really something really weird I never knew about TeamViewer. TeamViewer D. Okay. It is a root process that evidently runs all the time when you have TeamViewer installed on your system. I killed it the other day thinking, I don't want it running because why did I don't remember why I killed it. I just killed it all, every bit of it for some reason. And then it wouldn't work and I had to reboot. TeamViewer wouldn't run. I tried to run TeamViewer and it wouldn't run, and I said you need that process, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, I'll just reboot. And it was fine after that. Let's see, can I tell it to, I don't want to end it this time. You had to type in your root password to end it. Suspend, continue, interrupt, kill. I wanted to restart it is what I wanted to do. Continue. Hang up, interrupt, terminate. No, and this is great things you can do when you have a app hanging up. But I really don't know what continue would do. All I've used is kill, terminate, and end process. That's all I really use. I'm going to do it just to see what happens. Yeah, I see root privileges. Security alert for me trying to do that, I guess. I don't know what that would do. I'm going to hit cancel because, now it won't. Let's see. You don't have permission. I know I canceled the process. I'm not being bad, I promise. I just don't know what I'm doing. All right. But I was thinking if I could restart it, and it really threw me off because, where did I see it? Anyway, TeamView Word, W-E-R-D, Word. TeamView Word. Anyway, I swear I saw it. It said wine. Did I think I see wine and it never showed wine or what? It says W-E-R-D. Now I see that. I thought it said TeamViewer wine. Oh, I think it's in the other one that's gone now since I closed it. It runs in, and evidently TeamViewer does not run natively in Linux. It's starting a mini wine server, which is sort of a Windows emulator, which I don't have installed on this system. I used to use it. For years I used it. Well, I don't have it. I mean, can't show anything. It's called W-I-N-E. You can see there's nothing there. Because it got to where it just wouldn't run much of anything. It used to run old Windows 6P and some 98 stuff, and it was kind of neat. It would be helpful. If you use a Windows distro that has it pre-installed with a bunch of the stuff to make some games work, if you want to play some Windows games on there, it will work with some. I've done that before, just tried it out, but I don't play games, so really hardly at all. So I don't really have a need for it. But okay, let me just trying to think of how I can do that. I can't reboot unless I want to restart my stream. That's the thing. Okay. Of course, I could probably already been done doing that by now, but I'm going to try starting it again. I don't think it's going to run. Probably the simplest thing to do would be to reboot the computer, though. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know why it got messed up. I don't think I've used it at all today. But it is not working. It's looking to see if this is free license, non-commercial use, which I'm not using it commercially. So, and there's no limit or anything that I've ever seen or heard of. So it's not like, unless they changed, it's not saying anything like that. So it's not that they will trying to make you join their website. That thing always closed when I first opened it up. I don't think so. I mean, you would think there would be some sort of notice saying that. I didn't read that thing. I just closed it. Let's see. It just says create list your computers for free now. Manage computers and contacts. See the online status of your contacts. Exchange instant messages. Already have an account. So you can join and do some extra stuff. That's stuff that I don't need to do. I just do this here on my own local network for myself. You know, I don't do it. I've never actually used TeamViewer to connect to someone else's computer outside of, you know, my own right here. And then it just keeps coming up, and it's going to retry. Let's let it retry while I read that. Let's read through it. Actually, I can retry again now. Could do it. But I have, years ago, I actually did have a friend that was just learning how to use computers, and was I running? No, I was on Linux by that time, but he was running XP. I built him a machine, but he bought a kit from Tiger Direct, and then I built it for him, put XP on it. I could have been running XP at the time myself, but anyway. And so I set that up on there. I set up a I think it was Real VNC, yeah. So it was Windows XP, Real VNC. And when he would have trouble, he'd call me up, and then I would connect. I'd say, okay, go look here and here, and tell me what your IP address is, because it always changes. You know, it changes all the time from your ISP, most ISPs, and unless you pay extra to get a static IP, or unless you have some unusual type of internet connection. And so then I connect to his machine. I did it a couple of times and fix it. Like one time it was really cool because his monitor wasn't working right. It's cause XP. Some XP is always doing that, changing your display settings on its own. And he couldn't see his screen, but I could log into it and see it. And so I changed his monitor, his display settings, and I was like, "Can you see it now? Can you see it now?" Yeah. Finally, it took me a little bit to fix it. That was really amazing. That was kind of neat. But this is not working. So, got two choices now. Either I reboot my machine and see if that would fix it. Well, first I can reboot this other one. I don't know which machine is, you know, it seems fine on the other one because, well, the first time it gave the old password, now it gave it a new password, and I wrote that down when I opened it, closed it, and opened it back up. But I just, since the errors, well, the error would still be over here. So I think I'll reboot, even though both of them are on the internet and everything seems fine. I think I'll reboot the ASRock and see if, you know, maybe that's what it is. If that's not it, then I was kind of wondering what it was I was going to do. There's some things that I need to do that would probably take too long. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to make the most basic functions work. Let's see. I think I'll shut it down and turn it back on because I don't know what's been going on with it, why it's doing that. It may be that, well, the network card's not out of whack. It's online. So, okay, it shut down quick. We'll turn it back on. Anyway, you know, it's already almost 9 in the morning, and I've been up since about 8 last night. So I already made one video and got tired and recuperated and went back. I said, I want to go ahead and do this, you know. So at least I got the thing up in the rack, and it seems okay, and it'll be ready for the next time. But I want this to work. I want to know that it's going to work. Get my fingers off the keyboard so I won't hit anything. So I want to see if I can fix this, but I don't want to get started in any big long process like installing them. Like probably going to install like some Office apps. I'll just install the Office group and maybe the, I don't know, I want to do a bunch of groups on this machine because just what my mom will need to use it, you know, put too many things in there and she can't find anything. Well, she really just uses what I put in the top bar. She only uses like email and web browser and Crusader file manager and a picture viewer.
And I guess she uses VLC if she ever watches a video, which is the default. I set up as a default video. Let's see, player. Okay, so let's see if this rebooting this one will fix that problem. Going around and around and around. I think I'm on the. I think I have it where you can see the machine on one side and the monitor on the other, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm showing right now. So let it kind of finish getting booted up, and while it is kind of finishing its boot up, I'll go check. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So let's just go ahead and put it on just the monitor. There's not really much sense in showing. Showing the machine just sitting there. Oh, hit a key on accident. Okay, now we'll go ahead and open up TeamViewer. This keyboard feels better. It feels the keys. You know, I didn't realize it, but I think those key springs were getting kind of worn on the other one. Just other one like this one. It feels like new. Okay. Okay, so it gave me a new password, which it should do. I can't flip these paper. I can't flip papers good at all. Let's see. Yep. So far, every time it changes it, it's one I've never had before. It should have a whole bunch to go through. Okay. Now, go back over to my machine. It's all, both my machines, but to my streaming machine. Let's call it that, I guess. Lenovo i5. I guess I've said that over and over so many times. I think I'm tired of saying it. Okay. Desktop. And I always go fast, and then I think, what have I just done? Yeah, the keyboards. I think I thought I was getting to where I couldn't type anymore. I think it wasn't that I was typing any worse than usual. It's just that the still not working. It's just that the. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try restarting the process. I'll write it down on something else here. TeamViewer. Oops. All right, let's see. Oh, I should have left it running so I could see. Let's see. Main one I want runs in background. Can't write. Okay, team view erd. Okay, VTAM. I don't know if I'm in a room where I started writing in VIEWERD. Oh, boy, that's pretty. I'm gonna have to write it again. TEAMVIEWERD. Because I might know what I wrote this time, but oh, this is a mess. Next time, if I looked at that, I would not know what that said. Nope, can't read my own writing anymore. Okay, now let's just kill it. And then you got to put in your root password. should kill it. And then I'll go in the terminal and try to start it. And I'll just show what happens here. Okay, it took a little while, but it didn't kill it. But I thought it was going to kill it. Looked like it. That was weird. I wonder if it started itself back up right away or something. Wait, I think it's on its way down. It just was slow. Nope. Because I do know that last time when I killed it, for whatever reason, I don't even remember, I opened up TeamViewer and it couldn't run. It said it was missing this. Said it in an odd way where it didn't make a lot of sense. But I'll just open it up right here where we can watch the processes. See what happens. Well, there it is. Oh, and it's good. So I think it did kill. I think it stopped and started, but now look at everything that's there. TeamViewer execute, TVGUI delegate, TVGUI slave 64. TeamViewer is running, and wine server. That's the one I was talking about. That doesn't open up until you open up TeamViewer. Okay, so see all that. I'm not going to write all this down after all, but I am going to do a screenshot of all that. Okay. So I can look at it later. Oh, and it brought up that it's not the same one that I'm going to, but it's one of probably the machine I went to last time when I was having trouble and with what I'm talking about. From whatever reason, I can't remember to save my life now, but put it on 4. No, wrong one. 5. I want it right there. Okay, now, but we want to change it to. It's weird, you can't do a drop down unless you start typing. And I don't want 893, I want 884. There we go. Whoops, come on. That's the one I want. Got to use your mouse. Or that's the way it was acting. Okay, now we're asking for the password. Well, they're learning something new every day. There you go. I just learned that. Oh, you think I'll be able to remember it? I sure hope so. That's my problem. I've loved doing this. Once I got a computer, once I got on the internet with a computer, that's when I got into computers, because you got resources to, look things up and learn. And I have not stopped learning since '98 when I first got on the internet and really love it. Okay, so make sure desktop. Okay, yes, I'm on the desktop, so you're going to be able to see what I'm showing. Now, let's go double check or single check my live stream since I've been a while trying to fix that. Well, you can fix that without rebooting. Cool. You can do that with a lost task. It's just that usually you got to know the task name. I don't know how that did that. I mean, maybe the last time it didn't kill it right away, so I just went and force killed it. Instead of end task, I did kill because I wanted it down. Because I think I was worried about it using up too much resources is what it was, and I was trying. Last time it didn't kill it. Yeah, I believe what it was is I was trying to. Maybe I had something running that I didn't want to stop, and I wanted to stop the machine from using up too much resources. So, sounds like maybe a good story to tell anyway. Oh, I see that I have. This is one thing. This uses up resources when you kill that shutter. I only want it running as little as possible. It's my favorite screenshot tool, and actually the regular one, what used to be Genome, I think it's still called Genome Screenshot Tool. Every screenshot you take with that takes up its space in the memory, and you'll see all the tasks over there in the system monitor, and you cannot kill them no matter what you do. You have to reboot the machine, and they will just little by little start eating up your memory. And I take a lot of screenshots sometimes, so I try to remember not to do it a lot whenever I'm on live stream, because I'm trying to save my resources. But with Shutter, and it's got so many more features, that you can do all kinds of things with it. But it will keep them. I should have just showed it. It will keep them in its little viewer, and it's taking up the full amount of the full size of the screenshot, which is whatever your screen resolution is of your memory. And if you got you got 20 or 30 of them in there, it'll really start making an impact. But if you'll just go in there and close them all, when you can't close them all at once, you got to do them one at a time. It'll stop using up all your memory, or a bunch of, not all of it, but a bunch of your memory. But or you can just close the app. Just right click and close it. So here's the machine again. ASRock with the brand new Windows Fedora 26 install. It does have Windows. See, there's the Windows. These are Windows we're looking at. That's how Windows got its name. It had a bunch of different windows to look at and to work in. And I've only installed a couple of apps. Let's go ahead and open up Yum DNF. And oops, I wanted to put it in a different, just because I had the team viewer in that one, I wanted to move it to another one. So let's just move it to the first one. Normally I have my ways. I have to organize things, but in this machine here, it's not as important. Yep, there's updates again. Being it's a brand new system, it's going to have updates every day, I guess, just about. And once you've done your first updates, they usually hang up. Well, almost every time in a new Fedora system. I can't remember about Debian. I don't remember. But once you've done your first update, usually you can do them all. And that's one of the things I'm going to want to do. You can do them in the DNF graphic user, or the Yum extender powered by DNF. That's what it's called. It's still the Yum extender, but it says powered by DNF because it's a Yum application, but it's actually running DNF now. So this is all the stuff and the extra stuff that's got to be added in there. I'll go ahead and update all that. And we're going to have to type in our root password, and I'm not going to do it right now because you got to pay real good attention, and I'm getting tired. But I will set up automatic updates, and as far as I know, unless they've changed it, you can't just go in the graphic user interface like you could always do and just turn it on. You have to go and muck around in some setup files and change a couple. It's not hard, but you got to know exactly where they go, where they're located, and from time to time between distros they change the locations. So probably have to read up on that. I mean, I'll look at my notes from the last time I did it and see. I save them, save the instructions, and then if that's not right, then I'll. There is one thing you can do that I actually think I did last time on a new machine. I installed Apper, the package manager that Fedora used to use, and it does have a graphic on and off switch for the updates, and all I had to do was turn it on there and then go edit those files. The other way, you had to run a couple of 2 or 3 commands. I think maybe, well, anyway, I was going to say maybe I had trouble. I don't know why I did that, but I remember doing that on something. Might have been this machine here. While that update's running, let's see. Yeah, see, I have Apper on my Fedora 23 system. I'll show you what it looks like. I don't really use it anymore. It looks like this now. It's very different. Well, for one thing, it doesn't allow you to make it full screen with by just a click, but you can do that. You can drag it over. I don't like little windows where you can't read everything good. So in here, let's see. Yeah. Let's see, settings. Yeah, you can do check for new updates daily. See, I've got it. So that was an easy way to turn that on. I believe that did work. Automatically update none. It says none, but this machine automatically updates. I'm going to leave it alone. I don't want to mess anything up. But it's saying none. So maybe it's not controlling it like I'm thinking it would. I think I still had to edit those files. And looky there, I know this machine updates automatically. I don't have to fool with the updates. So it may not be able to connect anymore. They might have moved where those files are, and so it can't find them, you know. But anyway, that's still updating. Okay, so go ahead and look. Actually, let's go back over there. We can leave that right there and look at this stuff, or we can watch it. Got the accessories, a few of those. The only development is Genie. That's a, I think that'll edit Python, and I don't know what else. Couple. It's an IDE. It's a programming tool. And Restero image viewer. There's not much in there, so yeah, I would probably go ahead and do the groups, and I'll do the Office suite. I showed that in another video. I might have to go find the right page for the Fedora 26 groups and make sure they haven't changed since 23. But I want some Office apps, and it'll be easier to just, I mean, I'll get some apps that won't be necessary, but I should, and hopefully I'll get all the ones that I like. I'll show you what I like. This is what I like to use. I use Thunderbird, Firefox. I use Firefox Developer sometimes, and that's not installed. It's running in portable mode. Actually, my Firefox is running in portable mode because it's 23 doesn't, the one in 23 is too old now. I just started using this for Vivaldi web browser. It's a lightweight version of Chromium, kind of a remix. And there's Chromium, which I can't use because as soon as I added all my bookmarks from Chrome that I had in the Chrome system, it started using over a gig of RAM, and I couldn't. It just wants to lock out the machine and never finished importing all the bookmarks even. I can't use it. And website copier that I use sometimes. I use it to back up my websites, my blogs. LibreOffice, the Gnote, sometimes I use that. VLC, my favorite media player. That's a good webcam app I use sometimes. GUVC View, QJacky, that's a control interface to turn on the jack audio interface, turn it on and off. And what I did was, but for that to work, you need to install the audio mix group. It's hard to, I tried setting it up a couple of times by myself, and it was hard. Record my desktop I used to use all the time before I got to, started using, to make my desktop videos before I started using OBS Studio, which I'm using right now. And Wallpapers is actually, I'm running in portable mode now because you can't install it anymore, but that's what changes my desktop backgrounds automatically. The calculator, I put that up there. Actually, I forgot it was there. I had never done that before in all these years, but last year I put it up there because I thought, hey, because I got to use the calculator on the machines out in the garage to, quickly figure up things. Like when I was doing woodwork and stuff, I thought, hey, why don't I do that in here? And the mate terminal is what I've been using. I just kind of switch around. Sometimes I use the KDE version. VirtualBox, I use that quite a bit. And then this is one of my favorite remote desktop viewers that I use when I use regular VNC instead of TeamViewer. And I don't have TeamViewer up there. I could put it up there. Thunar File Manager I use sometimes, and it's got a good renamer. And if you need to open something up, you can right click in a folder and say open root terminal here. You can do that in Crusader too, or at least you could. I had trouble with it in some newer systems; it wouldn't work. And Crusader, my favorite trend panel file manager, Claim AV, antivirus scanner, KSysGuard. That's the one I'm using, and there's Mate Search Tool. Well, that's file search. I don't use it very often, but it is pretty good. I usually just search in Crusader. And then the application finder, that's what I use all the time. So those are the things I use all day, every day on. And not every one of them. Some I don't use, like the webcam and stuff. But I forget the names of stuff. And so if I have to, I can't search for it if I don't know the name. I mean, I could say cam, but look. GUCV doesn't show up when you say cam, when you search for cam. And it doesn't show up in webcam, it doesn't show up in web. It's really weird. So it's all got to do VC. Now, GUVC, and I can't ever remember the name of that thing, so that's one main reason I put it up there. And what it's got to do with, let's see. Let's see if we can tell. If I click on it, okay, now there, the yellow part that came up, if I move my mouse, you won't be able to see it anymore. The comment, it doesn't say anything in there about cam or webcam. And if they would put cam and webcam up in that comment, it would come up in the app search, I guarantee you. For instance, let's see, GTK. GTK comes up in desktop. Comes up in record. Doesn't come up in screen. So let's see if that yellow will come out. Okay, well, record and desktop are in the comments. See, record my desktop. So luckily the name is what causes it. And categories might also help you have it be found, but I believe that's the deal with why some things don't get found. Now, I think some of the other app finders, the one like in KDE, might be a little better at finding things. But I don't use KDE, and you can't just install the app finder. I don't know how. If you could install that app finder they use, I don't know how. But it also, I don't know, it might be better now, but it used to be really heavy on resource usage. I used to have to just turn it off in KDE desktop just so I could run KDE desktop when I needed to. It got better, but years ago it was really rough on this system. So anyway, this is a dual core with 2 gig RAM, not the one the one I was showing you all that stuff on, but this one in the Team Viewer, the ASRock. I'm starting to get hoarse now. Is a dual core with 2 gig of RAM, and the main machine that I'm running OBS Studio in and doing remote desktop in is dual 4-core with 4 gig of RAM. So, you got, that's why I'm running XFCE. I'm running Mate on the Lenovo i5 and XFCE on the ASRock, because I'm sure it couldn't handle Mate and all the, it's not real heavy on the resources, but it's a little much for the dual cores with Mate now. With Fedora 25, and I'm pretty sure it would be on 26. I haven't tried it yet. I probably will. Probably go ahead and install Mate and see how it does. But, well, I can already tell, like when you, I'm going to close the DNF. I can already tell when you open up the web browser and play a video that it, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot of stuff at once on it. So if I go to YouTube and go to my channel, then let's see if I can play that. I might have made it to where it'll play my live stream, because there was, nope, it won't play it. Okay, let's see. Nobody chatting. That's good. I didn't miss anybody. I thought I said that the other day. I'm going to go to, no, not preferences, tools, add-ons. What I finally remembered, I went and looked at the plugins, and there's only one plugin. Okay. Oh, it says never activate. The H264 codec is not turned on, and I know I turned it on. Will be installed shortly. I did this the last time I was on this thing. So let's go ahead and, well, I'm going to leave it like that. Close it and open it back up and see. This don't usually work. Usually you just have to wait for it. But this one is I haven't ever heard of any big security problems with the Open H264, so I say always activate. With Flash, I say ask. I'm going to close it and open it back, Firefox back up, and see if it will activate it. I think that's why it won't play my live stream, but it will play my videos once they've been processed for some reason. Now let's look at. Go ahead and look at the system. Where is the system resources? I didn't even see it. See, that's not showing up. Task Manager. Yeah, this is a completely different one that I'm used to. But it has a search. Whoa, the F's went crazy. I don't know why. I didn't hold my finger down that long. Okay, so Firefox isn't running. It looks like it might be. Well, it's the second most useful one, but it's using 3 to 5% of the CPU, so I wouldn't let it run all the time. I'm probably smacking now, sorry, but I had to get a cough drop to keep from coughing too much. Okay, now we got Firefox open back up, and let's restore a previous session. Let's see if it'll play it. Nope. Let's see what's happening there. It's still on always activate this time. So maybe it just didn't take last time. Maybe I had to force shut down Firefox. I don't know, but I'm gonna leave it like that, and it should. I don't know why it won't let you just do it and get it done. Like you can't go and it's already installed. You just can either turn it on or off. So it'll. I don't believe it's actually installed until you say activate it. It says will be installed shortly. So that's where I get that idea. So like I said, to install it stuff. See, I haven't installed any extensions or anything. So I think that's why it won't play my live stream. So, but at least I do know I'm still alive. And all else I will install is, well, what I'll probably do is use Firefox Sync to what I'll, add-ons and plugins that I have on my machine, my other machines will automatically install. And then we'll have to do it all one at a time. And this is my there it is, my previous video I made today. We'll turn it on for a minute here. Just to see how it's doing. Oh, I didn't plug in that audio, but that's all right. I don't think I'll hear any audio then. Go ahead and go by the intro part. Starts out silent and then play. Usually, if it works, it's playing a little guitar, and then yeah, I'm not getting any audio, but I'd have to get up there on my, like I was talking about earlier, plug it in the right ones in my patch bay. But I'm not going to fool with that right now. But it'll play the videos in full screen okay, and we're not lagging or anything, so I think it'll do just fine. And but I don't think it would in Mate. Okay, so I think I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. If I can remember how to do this. I really want this laid out like Mate, like Genome 2, actually, the way I like it. So make sure, yeah, desktop. Okay. I haven't done that yet, and it keeps throwing me around in circles a little bit here. So what I need to do, let's see. This, all I really care about, well, I think this is called a dock or something. I don't know that you can do any adjustments on it. You can't get to it to, oh wait, there we go, panel. Add new items, preferences. Let's do that. Panel preferences. Okay. Appearance. I could leave that one there. I don't actually want all those startup deals in it though, but I want it to do panel 2. Okay. Oh, it's set to automatically increase the length. I actually like it to. There we go. That's what I want it to be. 100%. I don't know what that means. Automatically hide panel never. Okay. Seems a little thick. But I'll leave that alone for now. Appearance. Leave that alone. Items. Okay. Now the things I want in there. Let's see if I may have to. I'll put it over there. Now this one. Yeah, that right there. I want that down in the bottom. So maybe if I open this up, panel, you got to pay attention because that says properties. Well, that's just that. Nothing to it. You got to go right click and don't go to properties. Go to panel preferences. It's really, oh, it's the same window. So you just have to switch between panel 1 and 2 right up here. Applications menu, Windows button, separator, workspace switcher. That's what I want down there. Okay. So I want Windows buttons and workspace switcher. Okay. So I got to go to panel 2. And those launchers I can take out, but I'm going to leave them for right now. I actually want all those launchers in panel 1. I wish I could just move them up to panel 1. Wouldn't that be cool to be able to just say, I don't think you could do it that way. But every one of those launchers I would like to have, well, most of them anyway, I'd like to have up in panel 1. Okay, that right there showed desktop. I'm going to get on it and just to see if that will back up and restore. That's interesting. Okay, so I want to add, I've already forgot, window buttons. I don't know if clicking in there makes any, well, it makes you be able to do something. Okay. Window. Buttons. Buttons. Add. Okay. Okay, now it's there. Let's see if you can drag it over. Oh, no, you don't drag it. You move it with this up and down arrows. I'll put it right. Actually, I want it like that because I'm going to end up taking out that show desktop thing. I don't care for that. It doesn't help me any. And actually, it looks like it's going to open up a folder, so it's just confusing with that icon there. Okay, now, getting somewhere. Now, excuse me, Windows switcher. It doesn't really, oh, now that's activated, okay. I don't see Windows switcher. Maybe you do need to be somewhere else. Let's see. Directory menu. Oh, okay. There it is. Workspace switcher. Did I just read that wrong? Add. Almost said close. Okay, now close. Now that's okay. But there is something I want. Can you edit it? I want it to be show. I don't want it switching with the mouse wheel. That drives me crazy. I want to just click. I use the mouse wheel for everything else besides that. Now the alignment. Maybe you have to click in it to align it. Move. Look at properties first. Yeah, so that, yeah, okay. That's where I were just a second ago. So I guess we'll say move. Let's see if we can put it over there. Last time I was able to Oops. That seems to be a... I know there's some dividers in there. I purposely got on either... See, there's one there and there's one there. And I purposely got on either side of the dividers. Because I want that to stay on the left and this to stay on the right. I've done it before. I just don't remember how. We have to do something. Let's right click on the divider and see. It's hard to catch that divider and click on it. Remember, I had to like put something in there. Panel preferences. Let's go in there again. Okay, workspace switcher, separator. Oh, that separator's in the wrong place. There. Now maybe I can do what I wanted to do. Yeah, separator there, separator there. It wasn't where I thought it was. Okay. Now I'll see if I can move it. Nope. Is there an alignment? There's no alignment. Settings. Oh. Margins. Don't need any different margins. Hang on. My cough dropped that I've been nursing. Got really small. And at the same time, I got something all gooey that I needed to get out of my mouth. They do that sometimes. They don't always do that. Okay, margins. Number of workspaces 4. That's good. I like that. You had to do something like you had to tell something to expand. So properties. That's just for that one. Okay. Panel preferences. Automatically increase length. What if you take that off? No. Oh, okay. I mean, you could leave it like that, and that would work okay, but I really like it to be like this one. One below it. You can see what I'm going for. Automatically expand shouldn't make any difference. Lock panel. Now let's see if I can... Oh. What just happened? Did I accidentally delete something? I'm missing something there. Oh. Oh. Panel preferences. Oh, I guess it just went smaller because I closed that. And when I unlocked it, it let it get small. No, that wasn't it. I don't like what I did there. I'm going to hit unlock again. How come I can go straight to panel preferences now when I couldn't before? What is all that? Oh, You don't want that. Okay. But you can do all kinds of things with it. That's the one good thing about it. I'm going to leave it like that for right now because I want to get, I think I better turn the lock panel back on. I think you'll be able to mess it up too easy. I hope that'll let it automatically expand like it should. Actually, I don't like that because I don't, there's a reason I don't like that. Let's go ahead and make this a little smaller. I don't really want it that big either. There we go. Because it looks weird when I'm watching videos and stuff. It distracts my eyes. Okay, so but there's a way, and once you've realized how to do it, it's actually not hard. Don't reserve space on borders. I don't think that's it. There's a way to make it get this over to the right and oops. Oh, that's Team Viewer. How did I get to Team Viewer? Let's go ahead and move. I don't have scroll. I wasn't doing any scrolling. Where is that? I don't want that scrolling with the mouse wheel. No, that's not on. It doesn't look like. No. Okay. Let's go to panel 1 now. It's on 100%. Okay, appearance. Yeah, you don't need, I don't ever change that. I use the system style. That way, whatever theme you're using, it'll go with that. Okay, applications menu you want. I don't want Windows button. Yeah. Let's see. Remove it. Remove. Okay, that's good. I don't want the workspace switcher up there. Okay, that's good. Everything else I want just like it is. Okay, and see, this is expanded. So why can't I get my bottom one to do that? It's stretching, and these are staying where they're supposed to be. Maybe each individual thing, well, that can't be locked until you get it in the right place. Let's see. Yeah, see, everything looks pretty much the same. That's 30. Okay. That's 38. So let's see if I can use my, yeah, I can, if you click on it, then you can use your, that's getting too small. I'm going to make it 40 for 38. Leave it on 40 for now. Those, if I'm going to have those down there, I don't want them to be so small you can't see them. Okay, now, yeah, there's something up there that's making it, I'm going to hit, oh, that's off to one side now, though. It's not the way I really want it. I either got to do that in the center or figure out how to make them spread out. Workspace settings. There we go. 4 margins. Nope, that won't do it. Okay. And panel preferences. Huh. Well, I didn't click on, yeah, that doesn't do anything that I want. I mean, okay. But I am thinking, let's see what happens. Can you back it up? I just did it. Oh, carrot configuration. What do I want to do? Apply configuration. Save configuration. Remove export. Save. Okay, there you go. Backed up. You could export it. That'd be nice. Once I had a system that actually has what I want. I ought to go over there and back it up, export it. and then import it into here. Yeah, I think it's my blue FIC. But the thing is you know, you want to remember how to do these things. You know, you're like, how do you do that? It's not that hard. So panel preferences. And so the only way I can get it to where it doesn't look weird, I could not stand this being over to the left. This workspace needs to be to the right. Wait a minute, let's look at it one more time. Maybe I'm missing something really simple. Okay, workspace switcher. Maybe the separator needs to be somewhere else. Nope. Okay. Oh. I've already done that. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's where that using the mouse wheel thing is. Okay, nope. Okay. Yeah, I don't see it. So I'm just going to put it to where it'll be in the middle more. I mean, it'll be in the middle. There. Leave it like that, I guess. Do the backup again. Apply. Save. I don't want to export it because there's no need to export it. It's not exactly what I want. Okay, save. Okay, so anyway, that's closer. Oh yeah, and there's a little add-on you can add in there. I just remembered. Let's see if I can find it. Add items to the panel. Let's try that. Whisker menu. There it is. Add. All right, now it goes over there. So yeah, if you do it that way, then you've got to. I think you got to go to panel preferences again. Yeah, now go over here, items, and do that. So I should have just done it from there. But you can put that up there. I think it's like that. I can't remember which way I like it best, but it's a little search. I think like that might be better. Let's try it. Because you'll see it right away. No, I like it better over to the left. It doesn't necessarily matter, but I like this over there better though. So I'm going to do that. Let's see. Panel preferences. I should have just left this open until I was done. There. Okay, now, if you remember, see, you can do your searching from there, and so you don't even need to use that other one. And the cool thing about it is you can use your mouse to navigate. Well, let's see. Anyway, oh, I remember what I was going to try to show. Okay, let's close Firefox again. Go in there. Now, sometimes there's certain times when you don't have to. Oh, I think you can do that and then go. Yeah, if you're going through the menus and you say, oh, that's not what I wanted, just start typing again. And it really works out really well. You don't have to use the mouse at all. You can do it all in the keyboard. It might not be making sense. But that I wish I could put on every machine. The whisker menu is an XFCE panel app or add-on or whatever. It's pretty cool, and you can just still leave this so that if you want to go through it like that and look for it, you can. But if you want to do that, and you see, you can go find everything from here too. I mean, you could take that out, but I find that if I'm just looking for something, I like to do it like that. But if I want to search, I generally like to use that and in XFCE. But yeah, you can go through, you can organize it by, sections, and you can see them just like that. And see, that's cut off though. This they're not cut off. So that's why I like those better. If it was the opposite, if the whisker menu was laid out with these on the left, and maybe you can do that, I don't know. I guess it'd be worth a try to see. All settings. Oh, there's the settings. But if you could set the whisker menu to this to be on the left and then these to be on the right and they weren't cut off, then you'd be good. You might be able to make that bigger. Oh, you can. There. Okay, there you go. Now they're not. Just got to make it big enough to not be cut off. It gets longer too if you make it longer. Okay, that's really long, but hey, whatever it takes to get it to work. Yeah, there you go. So if you pay attention, you can do it. Now that's long enough. I mean, that is cut off, but that's okay. I can read it well enough. Now, oh, I like that. I had never noticed that before that I remember. Oh, asking you shall receive. Pay attention and you might find. You just might find. I typed Dawn in there. I was not thinking. I just typed Dawn. Okay, there's that Genie app I was talking about. Yes, it's an IDE for programming. Has a compiler. I've used it before. I've kind of learned how to copy and paste and build me a screensaver with Python. And I've used Adreno. You can do Adreno. I don't know if you can use all IDEs, but if you're good with IDEs, you might actually, from what I've read and seen in videos, people that are good with IDEs they may use those instead of the Adreno IDEs and stuff. But yeah, this right here is, now see, that's really weird because that goes away now. That section goes away until you click on something that has something open in it. I don't like that at all. I just want it to be always there, like down here. See, those are, they show what, if there's nothing there, then it's just a nice clean bar with the 4 desktops. And you can see which ones has something open in them. That's what I want, right there. Very, very quick to navigate. You know what's going on. If it's empty, you can tell it right away. This right here is not. That's subpar right there for me. Well, that's weird. I don't like it all jumping around. I don't want the location of these boxes to move ever. I want them to stay where I can click on them without hardly even looking. I can just remember where my hand wants to go. A muscle memory, they call it. I think that's kind of a weird term, but it's not muscle memory. It's your brain telling your muscles where to go. So, telling your hand or your eyes where to look, or whatever. So I think that's enough this fun for today. I'm just kind of tired and getting mumbly and rambly more than usual. Desktop screencast. Okay, so let's just go ahead and close let's shut the machine down. I'll do it from here. And that'll just make my desktop thing go away and all that, and that'll be fine. You can shut it down from right there too, which is kind of more what I'm used to. Instead of clicking on your own name to get to the way they have it set up. I'm starting to remember that, but all the other desktops, you click on something over here to do that. So you can, I guess you have to click on that one. You can't. It doesn't have a separate shutdown button. Yeah, nothing else running. We'll shut it down. That'll end up automatically closing TeamViewer for me, and it's going down. So that's all right. That's a little bit of progress. Yep, it's down, and I can definitely hear that machine. I know when it quits running. It's not a super quiet machine. I got some over here that are, that blue FIC is louder. I think that Net Pro Max down there in the rack is louder. The server's nice and quiet. The only time I really hear it is when I turn everything else off and get quiet in here. But, yep, you can see what I was doing there. If it was the opposite, then it catches up to where I'm at. Okay, I see what's going on there. I don't know if the people watching are that far behind, like what I just see when I first get there, or what. I don't know how that works, but anyway, Yeah, it wasn't no short video. It's going to be a 2 hour and 55 minutes. So, got something done though, and it didn't crash on me or anything. So maybe it's going to be still run okay. So I'm going to go for today and come back next time. Don't never know for sure when I'll be back doing what I'm going to, what else might come up that I need to do. But anyway, this is Don, and come back later with the next. I'm going to continue working on the ASRock until I get it done, but other things sometimes happen. Okay, bye bye.